everyone. Welcome to another episode of Unscripted. I'm Love,
I'm Cutie.
I'm Big Mama.
and today we're going to be talking about self love and self healing. So,
Yes.
what is y'all's definition of self love?
I'm sorry, it's a lost. I thought Cutie was gonna jump into it.
I thought you was gonna say something.
I was waiting on her.
It looked
It's
like you was
okay.
about to say something. So I was
Okay,
like,
I'll go
okay.
first. Let me go first
Okay.
while it's in my head. My definition of self love is being unapologetically yourself.
I like it. Actually, I love
That
it.
was really shit.
Being
Go ahead, Cutie.
authentic, yeah. Because if you're
Yeah.
going to
Oh,
be
is that what I said? What did
somebody,
I say? Unapologetically? Should I have said authentically? It's okay. Go ahead. You
no,
don't have
no,
to.
no.
I mean, either way, you get the point. You get the point.
Right,
You know what I
right.
mean? Like, be 100% of yourself 100% of the time. You know?
Amen.
hmm
I feel like self love is being able to sit in a room by yourself. You know what I
hmm
mean? To be able to be by yourself and still feel like you have company. You know what I mean? Still feel like your best
Yeah.
hmm
friends in the room because at the end of the day, you are your best friend. You know, so it's being
Right,
able to be alone.
right. I think my definition of self healing, I mean, self love, is being able to take care of yourself physically, mentally, and
Yes.
spiritually. And also,
Yes.
like y'all said, being able to be in a room with yourself and look in the mirror and love what you see.
Being self aware.
Mhm.
Very much. Yeah.
Definition of self love, huh?
Mhm.
Mhm.
So
Knowing that you come first, I feel like that's very important because a lot of people don't know that they, it feels like a lot of people don't know that they come first and they think that they have to put themselves after everybody else. And
Right.
right.
it's like,
Cause I used to be like that. Like I kind of still am like that, to be honest. Like a people pleaser. I don't know if it's a
mhm.
people pleaser or just wanting to help people in general. And like
Yeah.
I'll go out my way to help somebody despite how it might make me feel or despite if it'll put me in a bind, you know. I'll still go out my way to
You're
help
a
them.
healer.
So, in what ways do y'all practice self love? What do you do? If you do you practice self love?
I feel like I just started putting myself first. So I learned the word no. Like
Oh,
you
yeah.
know what I mean? So it's like if I feel like it's gonna drain me or if I feel like it's gonna take more out of me, I'm like,
Right.
no, no. So I set boundaries for myself. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? I think that's one big thing that I had to like learn myself is
Oh,
setting
yeah.
boundaries and saying
Setting boundaries is extremely
Yeah,
important to
yeah,
self love because,
necessary. Hmm
yes, it's very necessary. You allow other people to cross over those boundaries, and now your whole world is in shambles because you're not
mm-hmm,
taking care of yourself.
Right.
I think that comes from feeling bad for saying no. I used to, somebody asked me
hmm
to do something, like I kind of feel obligated, like I have to say
mm-hmm.
yeah.
Right, right.
Honestly, it feels so much better when you're like, no, I don't want to do it. And I'm not going to do it because if I say yes and I end up doing it, I'm hurting myself at the
I'm
end of
putting
the day.
myself in a bind.
Yeah,
Right.
nobody else is affected by that, like how you are. So I feel you on that. Boundaries is very, very, very necessary when
And
it comes
another
to.
one, another big one for me, for myself, which actually ties into self healing as well, is celibacy. So a lot of people look. I know I get that look a lot because now it's like normal. Like, girl, you're not having. What's wrong with you? It's like no, it's nothing wrong with me. It's what was
Nothing
wrong with
wrong.
me when I was out there putting myself out there like that
hmm
emotionally.
hmm
Intimately and not getting what I felt like I wanted. And like no, it's self love.
Right,
Like
right. No,
I
agreed.
feel you.
so.
Because I did. I practiced celibacy for a while after a toxic relationship, and trust me, it was the best thing I could have done.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. And
You talking about yes? You already know. No.
I
No.
just, you know, I just think it's so respectable, you know what I'm saying, and honorable, for you guys to go through that change in life, because celibacy means a lot to some people. And listen, don't get me wrong, because you shouldn't just be out. I believe in energy, good energy. I believe, who you put yourself, whoever you lay down with, you
Hmm.
Mhm.
carry a piece of them wherever you go. So
Yeah, it's
if
called
you're
soul
giving yourself to
time.
people, soul tying, exactly. So I feel
Hmm.
you on that. I feel you on that.
Hmm.
Celibacy has never been a part of my vocabulary, but I'm just, I love it for y'all. I love it for y'all. I love it for y'all. If that's what helps you love yourself,
Oh
yes.
yeah,
Hmm.
And if you out here doing God knows what with God knows
man.
who, you might need to
Yeah,
get
nah, it
yourself
was.
together.
I ain't never been that wild, but it's still like,
Well,
it,
just
Yeah.
for our listeners, for the
yeah.
they
If
you
you,
know,
if you doing your do, hey, if
you
you
know
Yeah.
what I'm
happy with it,
saying?
keep going. But if you want to change, if you want to
Right.
change, within your life,
Change
and
your
something's not working, yeah,
energy.
yeah, you know what I
Just
mean. Sometimes you got to
cleanse
make
that
sacrifices to
out.
get what you want. You know what I mean. And you keep
That.
doing the same thing and expecting different. You keep putting yourself out there sexually. You know what I mean. And you find yourself more draining and more tied to a lot more people and stuff like that. Because,
Mhm.
again, when you lay down with somebody, you are sharing your energy. You are sharing a part of you, and that part stays with you for a long, long time. So,
Yeah.
if not forever. But hey, if you like it, I love it, girl. Like I'm
If it's not
definitely,
affecting you and there's other things you can do
you know what I
to
mean.
help
By
fix
any
that,
means,
then listen. By any means necessary, okay? Everybody
you
ain't
know
the
what I
same, and
mean?
that's
Self
okay.
love. It's called self love. That means accepting
Hmm.
yourself and what like
Yeah.
what helps you. That's
Yeah.
yeah.
This
You
is
gotta
just
understand yourself.
uh this is just our, viewpoint of self love. So
I
continue
kind
to
of want to
love
dig.
yourself.
Somebody write that down. I want to dig into that piece a little later,
What?
not later on today, but
What? Which
What
one?
celibacy?
yeah. Um, but yeah, self love.
Hmm. I
I
think
think
okay. So
being
sorry.
positive. Oh no, you're good. Go ahead, baby.
I was gonna say I was gonna ask you what you do for self love.
For me, I try to be positive in general.
Mm,
I know that if I am honest, always looking at things from, and I do that a lot. I'm always, it could go good, but let's think about what could go wrong too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I try my best to be positive without being blind. You understand what I'm saying? Um, excuse me, and I make a lot of time for myself. So I find myself getting buried in life and
mhm,
relationship
mhm,
and kids and school and work, all that other good stuff. And I found that making time for myself, whether it's taking a long bath at the end of the day, if it's watching two of my favorite shows back to back,
Mm-hmm.
if it's telling
mhm.
them kids, all right, y'all, be quiet. I need an hour. I'm overstimulated, whatever the case may be. I do things like that to move around for my own self love. You understand what I'm
Right.
saying? I
Mm-hmm.
just give
Mhm,
it to myself instead of constantly giving it to other people.
Others. Mm-hmm.
Um,
mhm.
so yeah, I just try to be more positive in self affirmations. Um, I tell myself all the time, "You're strong. You got this. I'm proud of myself. I'm doing a good job." I do things like that to kind of keep my head on the straight
Yeah.
and narrow.
Those are very good
No,
ones. Very, very
very.
good
I
ones.
love
Especially
them.
the bath,
Yeah.
girl.
Yeah, yeah, and I do
Love
all of that.
them. Oh, especially those
Wow.
aromatherapy baths where you put like
Oh yes.
oils and
Yep.
candles.
Yep.
Yes.
And
Love
that's what I
it.
do
Yeah,
too.
let
I'll
me tell
turn the
y'all
light
something funny
out.
real
I'll turn
quick.
some candles on. Sometimes I
I
might
sat
pop
up
my
there and tried
laptop
to
so we can.
read. I tried to read in the bathtub, right? Like I had my whole little setup. I had the
Uh-huh.
candles and the little music, and then I'm sitting up here reading, and I guess I was tired, so I don't know. But I fell asleep in my book in the
In the
water.
water.
And yeah,
Oh my
Yeah.
Woke up,
goodness.
them mom was so thin. Like I was so sad. I was like, okay. Like
Oh my goodness.
I tried to dry it off,
That's
but the
right.
pages did not dry at all.
Speaking of
Words was
books,
messed up yesterday.
though, reading is like something I do for self-love, or like just going to
Mm-hmm.
visit like a bookstore. That's something I love to do just for myself.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
unwinding
I
with
like
the
to buy
books,
myself food.
yes.
Let me tell you something.
You said
Huh?
I sneak eat.
not
Oh,
sneaky.
sneaky.
I'll order myself something and won't order anybody else anything. Like, yeah, I'm on a date with
That's my
myself.
ice cream. So what is
Yes.
your favorite self love snack? Let's ask that.
Ooh.
Wings. I love
I
wings.
about to say,
Yes. That's my
mine is
Wings.
self-love
usually
snack. Hmm. What'd you
mine is
say?
What
usually
about you?
sushi.
Sushi?
Sushi? Mm.
Sushi. Oh, I love sushi.
I mean, okay, I was gonna say ice cream, but love kind of made it like hard because them golden chick wings.
Oh my God! Don't get
Yes,
me started
like
on golden cake. Them corn fritters.
Oh, the corn fritters.
oh my gosh.
Yes.
Yes, that's self love.
Oh my
I
I
will
actually
buy
had
God.
that and
those the other day. To be honest,
they
I had
wicked
those. So.
wings. Look, they're wicked wings. I will hide in a
Yes.
closet and eat those by my. That is self love.
And just have
Hmm.
a
Yeah.
good time. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yes.
Yes. Yes.
A good time. So, what do you guys, for people who are on the journey of self love, what would be your advice to them? What are your steps
So
to self love when you're beginning your journey?
it's gonna be hard at first, especially if you, like you say, you're starting it, you don't know what this is gonna be like. You have to literally like just cut out time for yourself, cut out a section of your life and insert
Hmm.
yourself back into it. Because what it is like you took yourself out of the equation, so now you're adding yourself back in. And you
Right.
just gotta
Yeah.
get to know yourself again. See what you like,
Reconnect
see
yourself.
what you don't like, try new
Yeah.
things. Just kind of figure yourself out.
Yeah. And on to add to that, you also have to be kind to yourself. Be
Mhm.
Hmm.
patient with yourself, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because there's going to be obstacles that come and try to take you away from that journey,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And try to like detour you back
Yeah.
towards your old self. You
Yeah.
have to be kind of be patient. That's a big step, you know what I mean? Change your
Mhm.
surroundings, change the people that you hang around, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Changing your energy. Your energy is gonna change
Hmm.
anyway. If you're just now starting, you're gonna see a big
Yeah.
change, and you're gonna love it.
Yeah.
And you're gonna love yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with both of y'all said. You definitely have to reconnect with yourself.
Mhm.
Um, Dad, cutie, I forgot what you said, but you said something really good.
Be kind to yourself and be patient.
Yes, yes,
Mhm.
because it's a process. It doesn't happen
Hmm.
overnight. It doesn't happen in a week. Like, this is you getting to know yourself, and again, taking that time out to figure out what you do and what you don't like,
Yeah.
and putting your foot down about that. You have to be assertive about things like that. That's not something to play with. And if you're not gonna let nobody play with your mama, hopefully, because everybody got a different relationship, right?
Right.
But don't let nobody play with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that
Um,
goes. Sorry.
no, you're good. Go ahead, baby. I'm. Go ahead. I'm good.
And Cutie, you mentioned something else about, the people that you surround yourself with, because you can be around people who aren't good for you and you can lose yourself.
Yes.
And
Yes.
Hmm.
because you're trying to, please them, or you're trying to be like them, or you're listening
Hmm.
to their advice and it's not good for
Hmm.
you. And so, yeah, that just goes back to trying to figure out who you are in the
Yeah.
Yeah.
in the
Being
That
midst
was.
patient
of
with
it.
the healing process.
Yep.
Mhm.
That was actually the point that she had brought up that I couldn't remember. Who you surround yourself with is very important, because if whoever you're around with all the time, friends, family,
Mhm.
whatever, they're constantly negative, and then pulling
Negative,
those
beating you
situations,
down. Mhm.
baby, you'll never grow. There's no way you'll
Mm-mm.
never daggone grow.
That's
Um,
yeah. That's like a seed
I've
with no
learned,
water, no
ex-
soil.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, I have, um, I believe there are certain steps you have to take, as a whole, to self healing. Can I run them down?
Go ahead, run
Yeah, girl.
it.
So the first one, um, is awareness. Being aware that we're going through some shit. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Being aware that there's a problem here, and what are we gonna that we need to fix it for ourselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
I guess being aware also falls into acknowledging it. I know for me, I was real big with just kind of sweeping it under the rug. Like,
Mhm.
I'm not gonna worry about it right now. We'll move past it. No big deal. But baby,
Mhm.
the rug lifts at some
Mhm.
point, and it's
You're gonna
already
Yeah.
expose everything
all
underneath.
of it is
It's only
exposed.
so
All
much
of
dirt
it.
you
Mhm.
can put on there until it's peaking.
Exactly.
Right.
Um, the next thing would be, and I think this one might go more towards self healing. And I know
Mhm.
we haven't quite gotten there yet.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but acceptance, accepting that
Yeah.
there's going to be a change,
Mhm.
um, accepting the uncomfortability of the change, um, and feeling it.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I think that it might hurt to learn how to love yourself.
Mhm. Yeah.
It sounds weird, right?
No,
But
it's going to hurt.
No.
It's
Mhm.
it's a
definitely
new
going to hurt.
journey,
Especially if
Hmm.
you haven't loved yourself before. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be difficult.
and you're gonna feel like, damn, what am I
Because
supposed to
that,
do?
let me tell you,
Yeah.
that
I have to let go
isolation
of these.
stage,
Yeah, the
that
isolation.
isolation stage, that's going to probably be like one of the toughest ones because you're going to be
Yeah,
so used to being around certain people, being around
yeah,
certain energy, being around
Mhm.
certain things. You know what I mean?
yeah.
You're not going to know how to
Right.
really separate. Like, if you don't really want it, I don't think it's going to happen, just
Right.
personally speaking, because
Right.
it is going to take that restraint. It's going to take, like, it's
It
like
takes work.
yeah, it's like an alcoholic, you know what I mean? A recovering
Hmm.
one. You know what I
Right.
mean? If he's going to stop drinking, or if she's going to stop drinking, they're not going to want to be in the bar every
Mhm.
weekend. You know what I mean? They're not
Right.
going to want to surround themselves with
Ah,
people who
Yeah.
drinks. You know what I
they
mean?
need not to.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what
Because
I
it's
mean? They're
They're
like,
going to
gonna
want
want to. They're gonna have to
mhm.
fight the urge to not do it
Yeah.
so they can
exactly.
better
You gotta
themselves.
put in the effort. You gotta put in
Yeah,
the
Mhm.
work. Yeah.
You're not going to want to hang around the same people who accepted the broken you and didn't tell you you was broken. You know
Mhm.
what I mean?
Right.
You're
yeah.
not going to
That's the
want to do
truth
that.
right there. That's
Mhm.
the truth. You gotta be okay with leaving them in the past because sometimes they're just
Mhm.
not a part of that. They're not a part of the journey, and that's
Yeah.
okay.
Mhm.
You don't have to, beef with
Yeah.
them and never talk to them again or nothing like that. But
Yeah.
take some
Yeah.
time to
Cause
yourself.
you'll see the people fall off as you start
Oh
to
yeah.
love
Mhm.
yourself,
Oh yeah.
and they're gonna
Mhm.
see it as a negative thing.
They
Don't
acting
let that
funny.
discourage you. Keep going.
And
Yeah.
that kind it's funny because that kind of ties into last week's topic. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like,
Yes.
It
so
does.
it
Yeah.
does, like, and if y'all haven't seen last week's topic, y'all should go check that out.
Check it
But
out.
it
Yeah.
definitely, it definitely ties into that, because once you start growing and start loving and healing yourself,
Yeah,
your friend circle changes. It
it sure
Mhm.
changes.
does.
Like,
It does. Yeah.
But it's sometimes it changes for the better. You never know who you might be running, who you might give a chance to and run into that'll make your life a lot better. Who will teach
unless
you
you take that step.
those things exactly.
Exactly.
You have to make
Yeah.
yourself uncomfortable to
To be
grow.
comfortable. Yeah.
The only
Cause
way you're gonna grow is
trust
to
me,
be
if you don't,
uncomfortable.
God will. Okay, I don't know everybody religious standpoint, but
Baby,
Yeah.
if you don't, He
and
would
don't let
definitely
him
put
have to
you.
get himself
What they
involved.
say,
You know
faith.
what I mean?
He says faith without works is dead.
Is dead.
That's right.
Okay.
So put in the work.
Hmm.
Hey,
And you only need a mustard seed of faith. Okay,
that's
that's
right.
all.
That's
That
right.
little faith.
So self love is definitely one of the most important things that we as
Hmm.
humans can do. You have to love yourself. And how are you
Mhm.
going to love anybody else properly? And
Hmm.
you don't even know what it takes for you to be loved.
Right.
How you
Mhm.
gonna tell
That's
somebody
true.
else how to love you? You still trying to figure it out.
That's true.
It's funny. I had a conversation with one of my homegirls the other day, and we were talking about how some females really love flowers. You know what I'm
Mhm.
Mhm.
saying? And it's like, why you didn't buy me flowers? Why you didn't buy me flowers? You don't love me. You didn't buy me flowers. You don't buy me flowers.
Mhm.
And it's like, well, what about everything else that I did? That none of that stuff
Right.
matters because I didn't buy you any flowers. What happens when the flowers die? Does that
Right.
mean our love has died?
Right.
No, it's that you really cared for
Right.
the flowers for real. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it was a
Mhm.
nice gesture, but
Right.
you don't really care about them daggone
You
flowers.
didn't like
Be
them like that.
Right.
real.
Right. You
Mhm.
just wanted that
Be
love.
real.
You wanted the attention, basically.
Okay, so I'm about to put in a random fact about myself. I like dead roses.
Me, I was gonna say you can dry
Uh-huh.
your flowers and keep them for
Yes.
a long time.
Okay,
Mhm.
but see now, listen. See, that's because when you
It
No, it was
say
has
just fun
something
fact.
nothing.
It
like
was
I
just fun
like
fact. It
dead
had nothing to
flowers,
do with that. It
I
was
can
just fun fact.
see. I can see if we're doing something with them. You know what I'm saying? We're
Mhm.
making oils and fragrances, all that other stuff. But when you say or when you said I like dead flowers, it just gave me like funeral vibes.
No, like I like
No,
dead
like
roses, not flowers. I like dead
dried.
roses. Yeah. No, I love like the dried dead roses. The color that they
Mhm.
are,
Yeah, they're
like
like a
I don't
deep
know.
burgundy color.
Red,
It's so
yes,
So don't
yes, it's
just
so
bring
beautiful.
you
nice.
a dead rose just to bring you a dead rose. Like, oh friend, hey, found
No, that's
this.
why I said fun fact. I was like fun fact about
Oh.
myself. Yeah, it had
I'm
nothing to
not
do with
judging.
that.
I'm not judging. I just wanted
To not
clarity,
bring- I
I wasn't judging, but I'm
was
glad
thinking
you do.
about like my high school my high school room setup. It had dead roses and I'm like, "Oh, I like that." I don't know why. But anyways, yeah.
I'm not judging nobody. It just sound like were you like one of them goth kids?
Actually, I had my little emo side,
Yeah.
you
Emo,
know.
that's the
Oh yeah, emo goth
Yeah.
phase. I remember
proper
those.
terminology.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, baby, I love that for you. I love it for both of y'all.
What
I
they
like
say,
rose.
tonight will be the night.
Oh my
Ah,
goodness.
Well, that
sorry,
Oh,
breaks
y'all.
down self love. How do y'all feel about self healing? How do y'all heal? How do y'all
Oh,
heal after
uh,
going through stuff? What do y'all do?
practice.
self-healing. Yeah. Also
Practice healing? Is that what you said?
self-healing, like if you can't do it on your own, getting help, like external help,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
talking to a
Therapy. Listen, I
counselor.
don't care what nobody
Mhm.
say. Black
Mhm.
people go to therapy.
Yes,
Oh
let's
yeah.
not like
Please stop saying
eradicate that stigma that
Yes,
black people
like
don't get help.
now.
please stop saying
Sometimes it's
that.
just a
Mhm.
little. It's expensive, but
Yeah.
Yes.
you go
No,
to therapy.
look, I'm telling y'all, look,
But
my therapist, I went to I'm not gonna say my therapist's name, but I went to like okay, I know y'all see it all the time. It's called BetterHelp. I know y'all see it, right?
mm,
And it's on every platform and everything. I actually looked it up and I actually got my therapist from there. So when
Yeah,
I
mhm,
say and it's cheap, it was like $100, like
mhm,
yeah,
a
but that's
hundred
not bad.
dollars. So
How many
it's not bad at
sessions?
all. It's a weekly, so I can call like I call her weekly
So
and
it's a
stuff
hundred
like that.
dollars a
mhm,
week.
hmm
Okay,
Whenever I need sessions, so like like so if I need
mhm.
sessions that week, her hundred
And
dollars. You know what I mean?
yeah,
and you can
and
go as
if you
many times
can't
as you want during
go,
that week.
yeah.
hmm
Okay, I like
But
that.
it's different people. Different. You have to find different people that set their own price. So that's one thing about it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But you can keep trying until you find like, oh, okay, well, no, I don't like your price, and you can keep you can keep going, like But
Mhm,
yeah, there are people out there that's willing to help. Certain jobs are now getting it to where you can actually seek out for therapy,
mhm,
extra help. Like
mhm.
a lot of the jobs, especially call center jobs, they're doing it because
Baby, they need it because they be getting
yeah,
cussed out
like
left and
Stressed
right.
out.
yeah, plus they
Yeah.
know the importance of like, needing to decompress and talk to somebody
Yeah,
and to
Mhm.
speak
mental
to
health is
somebody.
important.
Yeah, if you can't go into an office setting, then you can also do telehealth and find a counselor or therapist that way. And they also offer pricings and everything too.
Mm.
Mhm.
That's what's up. I'm actually a aspiring to be a counselor. I go to school for
Yeah.
it now. So not right
That's
now, but in the
beautiful.
future, y'all catch me in Raleigh.
You know what I
Anyway,
mean?
Yeah.
um, I think reconnecting with yourself is also a way of self healing. I know we said
Mhm.
that about self love. I think
Mhm.
that's important with self healing as well. And I
Mhm.
also think it's important to grieve,
Oh yeah,
That. Yeah.
feel it,
definitely,
feel every
definitely.
emotion. Don't
I'm
try
gonna
Mhm.
and
say it
feel
again.
every emotion.
Shadow work. Shadow work.
Yeah.
Do
Shadow
your
work.
shadow work. That
Mhm.
is very important.
Explain to me
Um,
what shadow work is.
it's basically that. Like you sit by yourself. It's like a form of meditation. You sit by yourself and you allow yourself to be so vulnerable with yourself. You allow yourself to feel every emotion that you've been holding back, from your past. From, like, for me personally, I used to sit in my car. That was like the only place that I had time alone, and I used to bawl my eyes out. I used to cry till I couldn't cry no more, and it helps you feel better. I used to scream out and cuss at the wind, like, why did this and why, you know what I mean? And kind of just get your frustration out, get your feelings out, be
Mhm.
be open and honest with yourself.
Right.
Like,
Mhm.
that's my interpretation of shadow work. Love, you got a
It's
example?
basically like sitting back and taking a mental break from the world to
Mm-hmm.
me, and like just honing into or tuning into yourself, basically.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the progress of self love too.
Okay. I think those are really good. I never heard of that before, so maybe
Like it.
we practice it without knowing that we do it as well. But
Mhm.
explaining it definitely gives a better insight um, to what it is, how it can help you feel better. You know what I mean? So I think that's
Mm-hmm.
um I'm gonna throw this out here. Don't know how y'all feel about it, but I feel like forgiveness is a big piece
Oh
of
yeah, of course.
I
healing
feel
as
like,
well.
yeah, because you have to.
You
Like
don't
that's
forgive
the
other people, you
energy
forgive you.
inside you.
Right.
I feel like forgiveness is like this. Like when you don't forgive somebody, it's so tight. Like all that negative energy, you holding
Mm-hmm.
grudges. You when you think back on it, it gets you high.
Riled
It
up
gets you
inside. Mm-hmm.
emotional. But like once you let it go, like you can recall on it, it not affect you at all. You know, you
It has
can.
no control over you.
Mhm. That's the
Okay,
thing.
so back to shadow work. I looked up what the physiology,
Uh huh.
whatever, I think I said that right, refer
Mhm.
to it as, and it is the process of exploring and facing one's unconscious emotions, thoughts,
Mhm.
and behaviors. So
Okay.
yeah,
So
Nice.
just in
you
case
explained it.
anybody,
Y'all explained it perfectly then.
just in case somebody wanted to know, like, the
The
Yeah.
actual,
educated version,
yeah,
the
Yeah.
because we was
professional.
I
feeling.
like the way y'all said it better. The way y'all said it was very well put. That's very
But
intelligent.
yeah, I didn't want nobody to be like, what are they talking about? Like,
Oh,
Yeah.
and
girl.
speaking of shadow work,
Mhm.
me and QD would love to do meditation and flow sessions with you guys too.
Yeah,
So
I love
that'll be
that.
a video coming soon.
Amen.
Bye, bye, bye.
And we
Um,
can teach Big Mama.
Oh yeah, we definitely gonna teach her. She coming on this journey. I don't care what she talking
Yes.
about.
I don't know what
Yeah.
journey I need to be on. I'm very happy.
Well, it'll be in your knowledge
I'm
base.
very good.
So
Too much silence bothers me, but I'm open to it nonetheless. We could definitely get on here and get our on and have us a good time. You mean we're gonna be on here crying?
no. I'm gonna need you to go study what meditation.
I ain't trying to be on here emotional, so
it's
I'm just trying
it's
to have a
it's
good
the
time.
opposite. It's supposed to be like giving you positive energy.
Yeah, no, I was talking about shadow work when I said, like, the
That's what I'm
emotions.
saying.
Like,
She
Yeah.
trying to have us
So
on
no,
here
I was talking
crying.
no,
about
we said
meditation.
meditation, meditation.
Oh,
Shadow work meditation is different.
yeah,
Yeah.
we can meditate.
Yeah.
I will meditate. We're gonna have us a good time. But we'll talk about it when we get there. Catch us on another episode,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
Um, but real quick, circling back to forgiveness, because my mama told me something that you just brought up, and I wanted to say it clearly. She told me a long time ago. I was young. I had been about 11. I had a lot of anger inside of me, a lot of anger and hurt. And she told me, you have to learn how to forgive because it does not, forgiveness is not for the other person,
It's
it's
for
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 yourself.
you.
yourself.
You live
Mm-hmm.
life and you're upset about something, and something they did 2 years ago, 20 years ago
Hmm.
is making you upset still. And it's not affecting the other person. So you're
At
Hmm.
in
all.
that journey by yourself, mad by
For no
yourself,
reason. Hmm.
and you're only hurting you by not forgiving that person. You're not forgiving them so you can say, "Oh, I forgive you. We're good." It's not about that. It's about you forgiving in your own spirit, in your own soul.
Hmm.
Since we talk about
Right.
meditating and shadow work, it's for you. So
Yeah.
I just want to throw that out there for them young bucks.
I read something on online, y'all, and it was like forgiveness, not, like just holding in anger. It's like um having a snake bit you, and you're mad, trying to have the snake explain why they bit you. Like, it's a
Hmm.
snake. Like, what you thought I was
Right.
I
gonna
think
do?
it
Like,
slowly kills you on the inside too. That was
it's like a
unhappiness.
venomous snake.
Hmm.
Like,
I agree. I feel you.
you're drinking poison and wondering why you the one dying. Because yeah. So I want to say
Yes.
what I kind of think self healing is real quick,
Okay.
or what I
Yeah.
think is like important for self healing,
Hmm.
Hmm.
or steps to. I think that's what it was. Steps to self healing, something like that,
Okay.
right? Um, I feel like it is like Love said, seeking support, like having somebody, or a group of people that's on like the same type of path that you're on. I think setting your uh hindsight on healing, knowing your goal, like what goals you want, like setting a goal for yourself, like this is what I want to heal in, this is why I want to heal. You know what I mean? Yeah, I feel like I don't know, finding finding a healthier outlet. Some people find like drinking, some people find smoking, some people find,
Hmm.
you know,
Yeah.
sex, going out as a form of, hiding from healing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A substitute for
And it's
healing,
more
filling a
damaging.
void. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's more psychologically damaging than,
Hmm.
actually healing. And I think I said practice as well. So I feel like practicing, putting yourself in a routine of
Hmm.
things that, you know what I mean, that it's
Yeah.
going to help the healing process easier.
Yeah.
As far as like meditating, that's a practice. That's something that you have to set your mind for. I know me personally, I try to get up early, like around 6 before I have to go to work, and meditate. Like, that's just something I'm still working on it. I'm still practicing it. But yeah,
Yeah.
like every now and then I'm getting up at 6 o'clock and I'm meditating before I have to. I pray and then I meditate before I have to go to work. And it
Yeah.
actually does make me feel better, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, while I'm at work.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um eating better. Eating better can
Oh
help
yeah.
you a lot, you know what I mean? Cause, you know,
Because a lot
if
of the
you eating a
foods
whole
we
lot of
eat, yeah, has a lot of
if you're eating a whole lot of
hormones.
crap, you're
It
Yeah.
gonna feel like
does.
crap.
It does.
Hmm.
What
Hmm.
about exercise? Can we add that to that?
Exercising is
Yes.
definitely a big part of that. Yes. You
Yes.
you have to feel good. Like, I've always heard you gotta feel, or you
When
look how
you
you
feel
feel,
good, you
right?
look good. Or when you look good, you
Yeah, when
feel
you
good.
Yeah.
yes. And so I personally get dressed for work. I work at home, so I really don't have to. You know what I mean? I have people I work with, they roll out of bed and just boom, put on the camera, right? And not to be rude, but it shows. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? It definitely shows, because, I feel like you do look how you feel, and you do
Yeah.
feel how you look, you know what I mean? So it is,
Hmm.
I think that's a big part of self-healing, is actually getting up and doing the routine of living life. I mean, if you're just
Yeah.
sitting there and just waking up waiting for the day to end,
Hmm.
that's kind of depressing. And I know, because I've been in that stage, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you're just waiting for your day to end, meaning you're just waiting for the end. Like, you're just
Yeah.
living life, you're coasting through life, not really living it, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
um one day we're going to be old, and as older people, do you want a story to tell to your future grands? You know what I mean? Do you want to be able to give knowledge, insight on, like, if your grandchildren, future great grandchildren are going through something, you want to give them the proper steps of healing because you actually did it,
Right.
right?
Right.
And also being patient and persistent. I feel like that kind
Mhm.
of ties into practice. But yeah, like being patient with yourself and being very persistent. Even when you feel like not doing it, just do it. You know?
Right. Yeah. Those are
I
some
want to
good
finish
points.
up with
Beautiful
that.
points. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And can I add to that? Moving forward, not
Hmm.
let it be
Staying
what it
stagnant.
is,
Yeah.
and move forward. So all of that with what Cutie said, all of that with what Love said, and I would just say keep freaking going.
Mm-hmm.
Keep going.
Okay, Sarah, Sarah.
So, self love, self healing.
Period. A lot of people are not just jump into situation type of people, right? You kind of got to ease into, new things. Things kind of change, and you like to ease into change. I like to jump
Mm-hmm.
into change. I don't have
Mm-hmm.
time to go step one, step two, step three. Put me here and let me be uncomfortable to get comfortable in it. Like that's how I learn
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
the best. um, the only way I can think of right now where I moved for self love, or yeah, that I practice self love and self healing. Um, I told myself on a Monday I wanted to move. I had $500. I called my mama. She lived in North Carolina. I was in Texas at the time. Had $500. I was like, I got $500. What we doing with it? And my
Yeah.
mom was like, get your stuff and come on. And on Monday, I said I wanted to do it. On Wednesday, I was in the U-Haul. Thursday, I was on the road. And I've never been happier since.
That is definitely self love
I've
Yeah.
never been
and a
That's
step towards self
beautiful.
feeling.
Yeah.
So that is what I had to do so that I can gain control, gain back control of my own self love and self healing. You just gotta jump into the shit.
I love that
Get up
for
and go.
you.
I'm definitely a I'll leave. All right, I'm just gonna pack up and leave type. Like I don't
But it
I'm
wasn't out
y'all
of
and
resentment or nothing like that. It was I had to do
Yeah.
what was best for
no,
me. You know what I'm
and the
saying?
thing
Right.
is, people confuse it. People make it
Mm-hmm.
seem as though, okay, you did this because of me. No, I did this for me. I did this
Or
for
Exactly.
you're
myself,
or
not
like you're
because of
being
you.
selfish. Like
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it has nothing to do with
And
you.
let's
It's all
and let's
because of
clear
me.
this. Let's clear this. It's perfectly fine to be selfish as long as you're happy.
exactly.
There's nothing
Exactly.
wrong with being selfish. Don't
That's like
nobody
I said,
love or care about you like how you do.
that's part of self love. Like I feel like that is,
Exactly.
that
It's
goes
not
hand, like I was saying
selfish.
earlier. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, you have to put yourself first. Like that
Hmm.
is a big part of self. You have to put yourself first. Like I told my grandmother and them, because they're always like, your kids come first. No, I come first. Because if I can't take care of myself, I for sure can't take care of them. Then I'm
Right.
not healthy enough to take care of them. Now there are my immediately second after myself. Yes, they are there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like if I had one piece of bread left and they needed to eat, they definitely got that. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like, but when it comes to like taking care of my mental, if I need a break, I need a
It's
break.
Well,
I don't need.
okay.
I respect people who can do that because I drowned myself in being a mother. My kids have always will come first. I put myself second, and I can see both sides of how that can affect somebody's healing journey. You understand what I'm saying? So I feel you and I can understand, I can respect you saying like, nah, I can't be all that I can be for them if I'm not all together myself. If I'm not all
Right.
together myself, what can I give to somebody else? And I feel you on that. I can understand that. I can understand that.
Hmm.
I agree with that too, Big Mama. Like I agree with the yeah, some mothers are that, okay, my kids come first, and some mothers are me. I come
Yeah.
first, and then y'all are like literally right there, right next to me. Like if it comes
Right.
to like physical stuff, if it comes to money, like for me, I know some mothers would rather their children like struggle with them, right? Y'all are going to be here and y'all going to see how I build up this and build up that. Y'all gonna be sleeping, like, and I'm not saying anything's wrong with it. Y'all gonna sleep in the car with me and we're gonna get this together. That's fine. Especially for women who don't have, support system. Me, I'm more of that, okay, if you have to go here so I can go take care of this, this is what we're about to do. Because I never want my children to be without just because something I did, my mistake, you know what I mean? Or just because of a decision I have to make. And that's just coming from me being a child of a mother who never did something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She put herself first, her men second, and her kids at the very least. At the very last, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if like everything was selfishly because of her. When I say I put myself first, I mean mentally, uh
Right.
like self-love wise, like health wise, I mean
Right.
like mental wise. But as far as physical stuff, like material things and stuff that they need, oh,
Right.
they're immediately first. You know what I mean?
Right.
They if I
Right.
like I said before, if I have bread and we are all three hungry, they're
Right.
Right.
eating. Like I don't care.
Right.
They're
Yeah.
eating. I will
I feel
starve that
you.
day. You know what I mean?
I
So
feel you.
like I don't care about that. But
No,
yeah,
I
like
understand.
Okay, so y'all, my story is a little bit longer than y'all's. So when I was 14 years old, my mother got diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer. And then when I turned, how old was I? When I turned 18,
oh my god, what did I do?
I forgot. It's been a long time. Okay, so when I turned 18,
That's what I was saying.
she went into hospice care. And so that was a turning point in my life because now I have to prepare to lose my mother. And so my family, me, even my friends were like completely distraught, taken back by it. And when she finally passed away, my whole world was rocked. Like I was like, what am I supposed to do? I was basically homeless because our home got taken away that we were in for 8 years. So I had to go live with someone that I just met not too long ago. And I fell into a deep, deep, deep depression to the point where I turned to, like Cutie was saying, like you turn to certain substances to make that pain go away. I turned to drugs. I turned to people who I knew didn't have my best interest, and I turned to drinking. I used to drink heavily. People thought I was like the fun girl, but I was drinking my problems away for real. And it wasn't until I want to say I was 23 until I finally learned to let all that go. Not let it go, but just
Ooh, girl,
start
you about to make
on
me
my
cry. I'm
I'm sorry.
sorry.
But it wasn't until then until
Ooh.
I got onto my self-healing journey because another thing that we do is we try to tell people to get over it. And my family was
Mhm.
telling me that
Oh
like,
yeah.
oh, you need to get over it. Like you need to stop crying. She don't want you to cry. You need to move on with your life. You need to keep going, keep going, keep going, stay busy. And that messed me up even more because I didn't even get to grieve for my mother.
Right.
And so at the age of 23, I finally started grieving. And I was just like, it took this long for me to grieve my mom? So I was crying, depressed. I cut off a lot of people. And it wasn't anything to do with them at all. It was just me. Like, I didn't know how to deal with all this pain. And so I ended up getting diagnosed with anxiety and depression. I had to go see a therapist. I had to go to therapy for almost a year. And Yeah, it was a very, very hard and difficult journey, but it was very, very necessary. Sorry, I'm trying not to get choked up.
Yeah,
But
you about to make me cry, girl. Mm.
but I did like my depression stage, I would just sit in my bed in my room, isolated, just crying. I had no motivation, nothing. And I actually did try to attempt to harm myself, which landed me into the hospital. That was very hard on my family and my friends. Um, so when I say that self love and self healing is necessary, it is. And what Big Mama said about experiencing the hurt and experiencing the pain when it happens, you have to go through it. You have to, because otherwise, you're not going to get over it. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't
Yeah,
want to make y'all cry. But
this is fine.
All right. It's all a part of the journey.
yeah,
It's all a part of the journey. Tears, the run back, the walkthroughs of how you got to where you are now. It's all a part of the journey. The hurting, the reflection of it all. It's all a part of the journey. Being able to talk about it,
yeah, because
that's the journey. You understand what I'm
I
saying?
wasn't I
Yeah.
wasn't able to talk about it for so long. Like I couldn't talk about it without boo-hooing, without getting angry, or just not wanting to. Period.
You
So,
know, and I used to be able to talk about it with no emotion, y'all. Like I just didn't care because
mhm,
like you was saying, love, like how people will tell you like why don't you just get over it or whatever.
mhm.
Like yeah, people literally like say
Yeah,
stuff
they
like
was
that to me.
really telling me that. Like,
Like
why is you still crying? Like that
yeah,
happened
like
a year ago. Like, or
and they
why
don't
is
know like
you?
that mental that like
Mhm,
that stays with you for like of course, I'm talking about, being, molested at 12, by my mom's husband. She is still currently married to this man. You know what I mean? And I literally had, I literally had to leave and separate myself from my.
It's okay, mama. You did what you felt like you needed to do for yourself. Damn, y'all, we weren't supposed to get on this and be emotional today.
yeah, no.
Oh, we didn't get on
Yeah,
here, but
you have to
it's gonna
like,
help somebody.
you have to separate some stuff. That I had to, not only my mom but my grandmother too, because it's like every time I talk to her, she tries to force me to talk back to, and it's just like, dang, I just want a family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I never really had a healthy, strong family, and it's like I'm always going around looking for stuff like that. So I've always felt like I didn't have that, and I didn't have nobody who really like loved me or wanted to protect me.
Right.
You got sisters now?
Yeah, but then like y'all, I got to get back reunited with my dad, y'all. And when I tell you, that's been like yeah, we had like our little bumpy like road and stuff.
Right.
Things weren't always perfect because we're getting to learn each other and stuff. And unfortunately for him, he had to learn the damaged part, the damaged
Right.
person that I was already, instead of the little girl that he knew. You know,
Yeah.
so yeah, that's basically my journey. I like literally when I say I cut out, sex. I cut out drinking. I cut it because drinking was hurting more people, even though it was fine with me because I'm like, okay, I'm not hurting nobody. I'm by myself most of the time, but it was hurting more people. It was hurting myself. You know what I mean? It like Love said, it like all that void and try to fill a void or whatever. It's crazy. Like, oh, life be life, and
Hmm.
you just have
Yeah.
to find your best way of coping and just
Mhm.
yeah, like y'all, when I say I used to talk about this with no emotion, and one of the things that my therapist used to say is like, yeah, you're holding all that in, and you're thinking that it's strength, and you're thinking that you're being strong, but in
No, you're
reality, you're
hurting
kind of
yourself,
setting
baby.
yourself up. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
kind of setting yourself up for
Yeah.
like a big melt. Like
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Cause I
like
did. I
oh,
used to be the same way. Like, cause I told you it was 14 when my mom was diagnosed. So that was like going through the chemo and everything. And so I was trying to stay so strong for her. And all that emotion was bottled up. And so until she passed away, all that just like I had a whole mental breakdown because I was trying to suppress everything, you
Everything,
know.
yeah. It's like you
Mhm.
just try to, oh, I'm okay, I'm okay. You always tell
Mhm.
yourself, I'm okay, I'm
Yeah.
okay. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, and then it comes to a point where you're not okay, and you don't want to tell anybody you're not okay because for so long they thought you like handled it. Yeah, they
Yeah.
thought you was okay. So now you got
Mhm.
to put up this image, and and you got to make it seem, and then when it's not okay, and then when everything starts getting out of control, it's kind of harder to kind of like grab a hold of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
It literally took me years to grab a hold of myself. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
Like to kind of get back to where I'm actually feeling like the person that I was. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Before all like before all the letdown and the hurt and everything like that. You know what I mean? It's
Mhm.
finally being like I had never got a sorry. I've never got an apology from my mom. I've never got an apology from my family who sits up there and just tell me to forget about it or why do you think he chose you or anything like that. I've never got an apology from people who thought I was lying and calling me a liar, you know what I mean? I've never got an apology from anybody, but I was okay with that. I was because I forgave them. When I kind of just got tired of like making them an excuse of why X, Y, and Z or why I do this and why I do that. It was just it's easier to forgive them than sit there and wait for an apology, in my opinion. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Instead of holding my breath, it's easier to just let it go.
Yeah.
Like
Because you gotta do that
and
for yourself. Yeah.
yeah, and sometimes you have to forgive people who
Mhm.
are not sorry, who are
Yeah.
not sorry at
Yeah,
all.
because you
Yeah.
being upset doesn't do anything
It
for
doesn't
them.
affect them.
That
Yeah.
doesn't
No.
change anything for them. That affects how
Hmm.
you feel. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't have to ever talk to you again, but understand that you
Hmm.
forgive and not forget. You can
Right.
forgive and not never deal with those people again, but you did it.
Right.
Like you can move on for yourself. But
Right.
it's like we said in the beginning, it's hard. It's not an easy
It's
process.
hard. It's
It
never
took a
easy.
lot for each one of us to be in the situation, to deal with things how we deal with it now.
Mhm.
And at the end of the day, we see it through.
Right. We're right here
Gotta
now.
We
keep
live
pushing
another
through.
day.
Gotta
Yeah.
be persistent. Persistent in
We
Yeah.
practice,
live another day. So
Yeah.
to everybody, I just, don't think these are just three females coming on here and talking about stuff that, they ain't never been through or anything like that.
Mm-mm.
Different
No.
stories. We're each still growing, but I'm telling you, we started, and these are things that are gonna help you get through the shit that to
mm.
get through to
And
self
it's
healing
going
and
to
self
hurt.
love.
It is going to feel like you are getting dragged. Okay, it's going to feel like they are dog walking you. It's going to feel like you are getting jumped by life, by persuasions, by outside
Mhm.
energy. You are
Mhm.
going to get jade. I promise you. It is going
Right.
to feel like they're like, but you got to see it through.
Yeah, baby,
Like
you
that's the
strong.
most important thing. You just got to
Yeah.
You're
see it through.
you're strong. You can do it, and it doesn't last forever.
It
Yeah.
doesn't.
Temporary. It doesn't
That's
last
I
forever.
used to say it's not a bad life, it's just a bad moment.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, that's for sure. I think you made a good point earlier too, and I had to learn this also. Anybody who knows me knows I am the independent. I'm the most. Okay, I don't need nobody for nothing. I'll figure it out. I'll do it myself. And I
Mhm.
didn't realize until I don't know, maybe about a year or so ago, I didn't realize that I was saying that because I feel like I had to be because I had my little ones with me. I'm good. I got it. I'm fine. I'm used to being by myself, but I
Hmm.
didn't even know how much I was hurting how much I was hurting on the inside. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
you never. Sometimes it just hits you, and it's
It
okay for
does.
you to be
Mhm.
strong, but feel those feelings, go through those emotions, and it's gonna help you. It's gonna make you feel so much better.
Be so
Yeah.
one big advice that I can give is be so vulnerable to your emotions. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Like,
You can't be
yes,
and
yourself. Who
even
else can you be to?
yeah,
even if it's just by yourself, even if you
Yeah.
have to take that step, because like I said, y'all, when I say I don't really like crying in front of people, I do not like crying in front of people unless I'm upset, and then
yeah.
the
I'm the
gloves are off.
same
But I do
way.
not like.
Yeah,
I'm very like adamant about that, but like I don't know, as like I said, as I've been getting help more, talking to my therapist, talking to other people, you know what I mean? Like it's just it's something healing about that. I used to talk about
yeah.
stuff
It's a
without emotions.
relief.
People,
Yeah.
yes, like people, they used to be like, "You good? Like you okay?" Like, "Yeah, I'm fine. Like I'm good. Yeah." Like
Yeah.
what you said that like that didn't bother you, and put up a front. Nah, it
Yeah.
don't bother me. Like I'm good. Like
I
I told you, I'm
see.
good. I got this. Like
Mm-hmm.
until you don't have it, you have it always until you don't have it. You know.
Right.
That's the truth. And don't let it be too late by then. All right. Well, I'm glad we were all able to get some well needed emotions off, some very unwanted.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm glad we were able to talk about our journeys to self healing and self love. Did anybody else have anything they wanted to add before we rock out with our socks out?
No, no. Just wanted to bring it all together. Self love, self healing is very essential to your health, mentally, physically, and spiritually. So, if you're on that journey or just starting your journey, continue it. Continue to grow, continue to learn yourself because, in the end, it's going to be very helpful.
Oh,
Yep.
and I don't think we touched on this either. But don't be afraid to apologize to people who you feel like you want wronged. You know what I
Oh,
mean? That's another
yes.
process
Taking,
of
yeah,
healing and
Yes.
like taking
yeah,
accountability of
mm-hmm,
what part you played in others' life, and being able to
yeah.
say, you know what, I do apologize for that if it made you feel like that.
I
So
Yes.
don't, yeah, because I don't know if y'all believe in karma, but I do.
Oh, yeah.
I do to an
So,
Oh,
extent.
yeah.
I feel like certain things happen to people because
hmm
that's just life. Or it could be like for me, for the longest, I used to like, okay, I know I did some stuff, but I didn't do anything to get this type of karma. But my
yeah,
grandmother once said, she was like, sometimes you don't get hit with your own karma. Sometimes you get hit with generational karma. You know
yeah,
what I
that's
mean?
true.
And
Mhm.
sometimes that's why you have to be mindful of how you treat people because your children can go through that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Your children can bear the burdens that you laid out. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And it's because karma's not always going to be fair. You know what I mean?
right.
It'll let
Yeah.
you make it, let you have a good. That's why rich people or people that always seem happy that scam
Mhm,
people, take people for money. They always seem happy, right? And then
mhm.
that next generation, boom, their kids
Yeah,
into this. Something
miserable.
happens, like yeah, you know what I mean. It just hit them with a wham, wham, whammy, like so.
That's why I was like,
I
I don't
believe
know
in
what our
karma.
ancestors did, but
Oh, like Lord,
I'm gonna
yeah,
need y'all to
apologize for
repent.
Listen,
them.
and I think that is definitely a conversation for another time
Yeah.
because I
Yeah,
know it's controversial, but I definitely feel like we are the chosen ones.
yeah.
So I feel like if I
Mm,
can put a subject for next week
mhm.
or for Wednesday, I feel like we should touch on the importance of dating and courting,
Oh
and
yeah.
Mhm.
then the importance of being alone, like being single.
Okay.
So what we think the importance of each one of those are.
Okay.
Okay, I like that.
Let's do it. All right.
Okay.
Well, y'all see the next episode of Unscripted. We'll be talking about why we should be alone and why what
The
the
importance
importance of
of
what.
of
Courting
dating and
and
courting.
dating.
Yeah, that all
Yeah.
of that. We'll talk to y'all next week. Nah, for real though. But thank y'all for joining us with another episode of Unscripted. We look forward to seeing y'all again on Wednesdays. Um, there will hopefully be a link below to let y'all know where y'all can find us. You can check out our videos. Amen. All right. As always,
Bye.
love, peace, and blessings. Love y'all.